I'm full of human hatred right now and rage, because today I stood on the side of the road and watched a woman hold her horn down at another car who was doing the right thing. Now, as a pedestrian, I couldn't just stand there and let this woman annoy the shit out of me, so I screamed at her. Yes, there were a lot of people around, and yes, they all stared at me like I was some sort of idiot, but my rage exploded out in what I'm calling not road rage, but pedestrian rage. Do you get pedestrian rage? Because I see cars doing stupid goddamn things all the time, and this one in particular is really a Melbourne-based one. I live in Australia in a city called Melbourne, and we have something on our roads called a hook turn. Now, a hook turn is simple in theory, but if you encounter a hook turn and you've never learnt about it, you're going to freak the absolute bejesus out. Here is a simple instructional video by Victoria Roads on how to do a hook turn.
How does a hook turn work? First, you will need to be in the left-hand lane. Move forward, keeping clear of any marked foot crossing until your vehicle is as near as possible to the far side of the road. Remain in this position until you see that the traffic lights on the road you want to enter have changed to green. Turn right into the road and continue straight ahead.
Many people are like, I don't even get the point of it. It's to get you morons onto the side of the road so the traffic can flow easily. You know how you get stuck behind a car that wants to turn right and you've got to wait for them and it takes goddamn forever? Well, a hook turn alleviates that dumb, stupid car trying to turn right. So it actually keeps the tram network and the traffic flowing. It's actually a smart idea. Except 99.9% of the population don't know how to do it. And that was evident today by a woman who held down her horn for a good 60 seconds. I was borderline ready to punch her window in and scream in her face. Now, I know I would never do that because, well, I think I would never do that. I never thought I would yell at someone as a pedestrian, yell at someone in their car, like physically yell abuse at them. I never thought I'd do that, but as I get old, I get more intolerant, and my intolerance changes each time I witness the same situation of someone being a moron. Take a look at this diagram, right? The cars have moved off to the side of the road in order to let the traffic through. The simple premise of doing a hook turn, except the cars were blocking this lady from turning left, and that made her angry. So she decided to hold her horn down to let the people in the hook turn know that they needed to move and get out of the way. Now, the problem with that is, even though there was no other traffic on the roads, they are not allowed to do that hook turn until the other light goes green. And it wasn't, it was red. So she needed to shut the fuck up and stop holding her horn down. But as she held her horn down, I could see her getting very angry at the other people. So I decided to scream out at her. I won't repeat what I said, but it involved the F word and almost very closely the C word. But as I was in public, I refrained myself minutely. I can't tell you how angry I was. I was so angry. Oh my God, like, can you feel the anger? And what's more annoying is she couldn't hear me over the sound of her annoying, cheap-ass car horn. Do I regret not banging on her window? Yes, I wish I did. But I work in a building on a busy road where there's hook turns every 100 metres. So I always hear car accidents and I always hear people tooting their horn because I don't know, it's just a thing that they do. You go into a hook turn and you hold your horn down. And I'm sick of people just not knowing how to do a hook turn. These cars knew exactly how to do it. It was her. She didn't understand that they couldn't go. And she was being a little I think now we've learnt how to do a hook turn if we live in Melbourne. If you don't live in Melbourne and want to visit the city and you're going to rent a car and drive around, well, now you also know how to do a hook turn. I live in Melbourne and I don't have a car. I can drive, but I choose not to because it's terrifying because people are stupid morons. I once drove in the CBD of Melbourne and I cried because I didn't know how to go over tram. There was no hook turns. There was no turns for me to go off to the side to turn. I just didn't know if I was allowed to drive over the trams, but I needed to get over the other side of the tram line and I didn't know how. And so I couldn't pick my friend up. That being said, if I had a horn, I would have held it down at her. So that makes me a little bit hypocritical, but You know when you hear someone holding down a horn and they're wrong, and you hear the other car just being like, shut the up, and they hold their horn down? I like those people. I like the people who retaliate, being like, no, I'm right. And the only way to communicate is via tooting the horn. And tooting the horn is so aggressive. Someone toots the horn and then they wave. I'm filled with hatred, and I'm like, oh no, it's someone I know, and I wave at them. Why does tooting a horn elicit such an angry response? I'm glad I'm not on the road. I would be one of the people that would like put the handbrake on in the middle of a busy road, get out and just berate someone. Like, I hate impatient people. And here's the weird, ironic thing about this is I have zero patience for people with zero patience. It's a vicious cycle.